Hello. So you know how our show is jank and it's held together by duct tape? Guess what's happening during our finale?
Hey, Will, this is apropos of Bloodwine. Life has drawn blood, so we make Bloodwine.
It's the finale. They said the thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so for the finale of our show, the GM does not have a video feed. It's making Discord crash, so here we are.
Yep, it's beautiful.
Let us pray that it doesn't crash further.
Oh, God.
We were going to start early.
Yeah.
We were all in chat at 7.
We were
ready to go.
I took the dog out early, we got everything. We were sitting here at 7:10, ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Ken was. I think genuinely we were almost ready to go, and then when we were discussing getting ready, that's when it crashed. For the first of many times to come. So here we are.
So good.
Here we are.
Well, that's a lull in the conversation. Time to take that opportunity to use the old clipboard.
Get it out. Get it rolling.
Yeah.
We can't see the clipboard this time, but it's there in spirit.
I'll do the
I assure you, I'm gesturing. I'm doing my.
Ken's got
doing my waggle.
Yeah, there we go. I've got the clipboard. I'll give it the good waggle.
Yeah, we've done the waggle. We're maintaining our brand. Wait, shit. Okay, no. We got a few we've got some stuff that's on brand. We've got some stuff that's typical Bloodwine. It's got some sort of opener. We've got an opener, a closer.
Okay.
I think the only thing that we have left on the succeed at YouTube/Twitch thing is to name our followers.
Oh no!
It's got to be something terrible that we regret.
Hey, adventurers!
Oh my god!
That's exactly what it would be, though, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna come over there and slit your throat because you had one chance to do this, and that's what you came up with. Oh my god! I was trying to think of something that wouldn't make me implode. But
it exactly needs to be something that will make you implode.
Okay, well, I can't hear a goddamn thing.
I love that too because everyone who regularly watches this show is someone who is not going to be down with being referred to as an adventurer.
I know.
I'm not going to come in and be like, "Hey, Joel, and our other fellow adventurers."
Not to be melodramatic, but these ideas are so bad that Discord crashed on my phone. The problem is I can't think of anything better.
I accept full responsibility, and I'm totally happy. Zero regrets.
Well, anything good that we've ever come up with during this campaign, let's forget about it for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Man, sounds good.
Sounds great.
We'll remember it 5 sessions into our next campaign.
Page 5, there it is. Lunchtime in Hammerhold. There's a fuff sort of newspaper flip as it flips open. Though our first few pages address the leads made available by the Discovery, the bulk of our letters from readers concern theories about the events that took place at noon. As a chronicling endeavor, we will provide only the significantly verifiable facts. Though there seem to be many eyewitnesses attesting to an escape, several key events conflict. We know that Boru was found dead of flash dehydration, and the guard indicate Boru may have committed magical suicide. The same day at noon, an orange smoke billows from the outspire. A flock of chickens overwhelms the market square. A wagon embeds itself in a south end rooftop. A scarecrow in witnesses' clothes, the famous detective Henny Locksworth, was found in the guard captain's desk. As of the time of printing, all else is speculation. The wagon driver reaches back to an empty table, dropping the paper for a stranger, and sort of groans. Well, then, I don't know about you two. The other two regulars at the Tim Hortons smile. But I sure have a speculation. Welcome to Bloodwine. So for the finale, we are going to be doing something a little bit unorthodox. I've got a timer behind the scenes that's going to be the bells, basically. We're going to be starting off at the same position. We're going to be running through it 3 times, and each one's going to be a theory.
It's
A
just
tabletop game theory.
Oh,
I liked it.
Also, not to derail everything, but every time you do the little intro with the clipboard, I get like church flashbacks to when someone at the front was praying and you weren't allowed to say anything. You just had to sit in quiet contemplation. And so I instinctively close my eyes and bow my head whenever the clipboard comes out.
Oh my god, it's like a Pavlovian response.
It is.
I've got another friend, and there's been a few times where he has seen something in a YouTube video or something that goes back to like an hymn or like a Sunday school song,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes like, it hasn't happened. It's only happened like 2 or 3 times, but he's gone full Manchurian Candidate, like the Lord, He is my Savior. Like,
Well, I can tell you that's not one. I don't think that's one.
I mean, you got any quality bops? You got any good hymns that slap?
Yeah, no, there's this little light of mine. That one.
Man, this
I'm gonna
little
let
light
it
of mine.
shine.
Then you got the bridge, and God, that bridge gets me every time.
I don't know any of the rest of the song.
Is that the London one that's
Can't remember
falling
what it is.
down? I don't think that's an hymn.
No, you're a musician, Will. You know what a fucking bridge is.
The bridge
Of
of
the
this
song.
little light.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the lyrics now.
Anyway,
this little light
should
of
we-
mine. We're getting way off point.
Whoa, this little light of mine.
All right, so I'll give you guys a little bit of flexibility here,
Awesome.
and I'm keeping an eye on chat in case you guys have anything. I've got some stuff in my back pocket, but with this kind of time frame, I can really work with a lot of flexibility. I've got 3 options for you, and feel free to tell me if you have any better options. One of them is that it's a government cover-up. One of them, this one is the only mandatory one, it's got to be one of these, is that it's dark magic. And I don't know what the other one should be.
Okay.
Any ideas? Maybe one idea to fill in the blank? Maybe 2 ideas?
So we got government conspiracy, pigeon cameras. We've
Yep.
got
Coronavirus was put in place so that we would all go
Yeah.
inside and not notice when the government changes the batteries on the birds.
Yeah.
dark magic. We got the rituals, sacrificial rituals. Let's see what else we got.
There's always aliens. Aliens is a great sort of
Ooh,
conspiracy
yeah.
theory.
Aliens? Billiam Gates is putting magical pieces of metal in your drinking water.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god, it all
Um,
makes sense. Billiam Gates. No.
There could always be, it was Redcoat the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red coat
Oh
mining.
yeah,
explosion
Red Coat
was an inside
Megacorp is behind all of it, you know?
There's the Earth is actually round, and this is sort of man.
I don't know, I've heard some theories that it's actually sort of like a Taurus shape.
Oh yeah, that makes no goddamn sense.
Actually,
I feel like the crux of this joke is the fact that Bloodwine is canonically flat, which I think maybe came up once outside of game in a conversation off camera.
Yeah. I don't think that's ever been discussed. But yes, the Bloodwine world is actually flat.
I spent a lot of time workshopping like the world, its economy, its functions, people's roles, and like I've really spent a lot of time coming up with obscure bullshit for this game's world building that'll never come into play. And it comes up in conversation, and then sometimes things will happen on stream like, oh yeah, Corvo, the crow from Florida, and I'm like, yeah, we need to give context for that one.
The crow from Florida. Corvo. He's a crow from Florida. I don't know what. There's no context needed. It's fine.
Like that might have come up as you were leaving my apartment like a year and a half ago at like 12:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that one. I was there.
I don't remember that one. Nobody's told me that. I've never made that connection.
The connection that he's from Florida, a real world place.
I knew it was from a real world place. I didn't know it was Florida.
Yeah, he's
I thought
from
it was
Miami.
like Colorado.
Man, I had an awful flight.
Back in the USSR.
The problem is, if you're trying to be a good GM, and I'm trying to be a good GM, then you take the gags and you try to work them into the story. And when you reuse the same world over and over with the same people, the people expect the gags to still be part of the world lore. And I gotta tell you, it puts a lot of color in it, but it also makes it so there's a lot of weird, obscure bullshit that I'm sometimes reminded of.
I often
Like when
remind
I
you
was-
of them.
Like the fact that pizza exists as a food.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not far-fetched or nothing. You wouldn't expect it. Man, other theories.
Yeah, what are your... Anyway, so what do we want to do? We gotta pick 3.
I like government conspiracy. I guess
Government
that's...
conspiracy?
Yeah, government conspiracy and, of
Yeah.
course, dark ritual. Perhaps the trees.
The trees.
The trees.
They're working with the druids to take over society. How do you like that?
I don't even realize how many squeaky toys she has until, like, she's like, man, I want to squeak a toy, and, like, just finds all of them.
Yeah.
I do like the trees being one.
It's tactical, you know, like she's storing them because then it's like, you know what it is? It's like the gag of like, go on, take all their weapons. I said all of them. 3 daggers. Go on, all of them. 6 daggers. And that one dagger. Like it's that thing, but it's squeaky toys.
Not gonna
It
lie,
is.
that is
It
one
really
of my
is.
favorite gags that people use. I absolutely adore it. It's so good.
So as long as it isn't the first one, because I need time to kind of let it bounce around in my head, I'd be willing to do the trees ...
The trees.
The trees, I do like the trees. It's much better than aliens.
Well, the
Hopefully
trouble
like
with
aliens.
aliens is like people would probably just be like, "Those are just celestials. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Well, oh my god, no,
It's the
because
Celestials.
we know that the Celestials are up to their bullshit all the time. I'm talking about like aliens from the heavens descend in their metal ships and abduct you and their little green men, and then that's a playable race.
Come sail away, come sail away.
And then all of our fun friends were saved by a crazy drunk ex-airplane pilot.
Now you're just stating Independence Day.
Yeah.
What is the acceleration of gravity in Bloodwine?
9.81 standard.
Does that mean that it's a flat plane that's moving upwards in the universe at 9.81 meters per second?
Look, you know what I went to school for? I mean, I dropped out, but like went to school for enough to be a nerd about it. You know I have an answer to this. You really want to go down this road?
The thing is, this, I can already tell, is going to open up a floodgate to where the different planes lie in relation to the mortal plane.
The thing is,
And how
I
this-
love this because it's like you get 2 engineers and a physicist, and then there's me. I studied computers and rocks. I know the bare minimum to understand the conversation, but have no way to contribute.
You say engineer like it would be helpful in this situation. Because we rounded up to 9.8. Like,
They do.
I'll
Acceleration is
save
10 meters
that
per
piece of
second.
information for another time because we should probably get moving.
probably.
You're right.
God, I wish it was smart.
So do you guys like trees, redcoat conspiracy, aliens?
The trees, I think, so far is the greatest thing I've ever heard. It was the trees, and if you custom them, no, the trees, the literal trees.
Like literally the trees.
I like that. We could do that one.
It'll be like you're talking to your friend in a coffee shop, and they'll be like, "Yeah, so I was reading the other day. Did you that some trees can exude like pheromones that will alter your mental state and make you hallucinate. Anyway, that got me thinking about that whole incident with Boru, and then they launch into this thing.
Did you see my just bump?
We were just ignoring
Okay.
that. It was great. It's beautiful. Just doggo in the background. All right.
I hate to neg on my statement, but after Gabe said all of those words, I think I have to strike down the trees. I can't. I can't do it for an hour.
Okay.
Well, less than an hour, 40 minutes.
Okay.
I don't
can't
think I
do
can do
trees.
the trees for 40 minutes.
Aw. Yeah.
A prank YouTube channel.
It's just a prank, bro.
That glorious parchment of YouTube. The
Border's
I don't know.
parchmentalization of YouTube.
I
Border's
like
dead.
the aliens.
There's orange smoke, bunch of chickens in the market square, wagon embedded in a rooftop, and what was the last one? Scarecrow with Henny's clothes on the commissioner's desk.
Can we just say that this is like a void bay attack? Like it's starting a secret war that they've been fighting for ages. Like
A false flag.
What aliens? Or what if the rumor comes out? Does Boru is gay?
Does Boru is gay?
what? This is news for everyone involved.
I would so run that, but I don't think it would. I don't think we could stay on Twitch.
It was an ARG viral marketing campaign.
It's all a.
All right, we got some stuff on the table. How do we feel about what's on the table?
Since you shot down
I'm-
trees, I'm fine going with aliens.
Aliens. Aliens works for me.
Yeah, aliens feels like the logical progression.
I'm also okay with it being a void bay attack.
Could it be an attack against the church? This is somehow their attempt to destabilize the youth of the Venkrum.
It's the Church of Skrit's retaliation.
Yeah, it's a plot against the Church of Skrit.
It's always against the Church of Skrit. Church of Skrit gets nothing
I guess that's
good.
yeah, poor Skrit. I mean, he needs to find some better followers. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he does just take whoever.
Yeah.
Warning. Warning, because I know your dog, and I can see her on camera. She's got a bork in the chamber.
Yeah.
She does.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna come out. It's in there.
Yeah.
it's in there. She wants attention, and we're not giving it to her. Okay. I like the aliens one.
What if it was just a party gone really wrong? Like a hangover situation.
I think I might like that even more than everything that we've suggested thus far. Oh my god, that's beautiful. I want to run with that. Will, are you okay to run with that?
You know what? That is so, because of the way that those hangover stories are made, structured, that is so perfect. Yep, let's do it. All right, which one's first?
Sounds good. Let's do the hangover one first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so one of them's a wagon driver, but who are our three Tim Hortons narrators here?
We got the wagon driver. One is going to be general laborer.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is going to be Hank Yarbo from Corner Gas. He's just there now.
He provides feed for wagons and stuff.
Yeah. He's a wagon mechanic. And he's dumb as rocks.
All right, so a human named Hank A lupus wagon driver and a low-paid general laborer are all sitting there in the early hours the day after this has taken place with the paper. I mean, just set it aside. We've got some theories. The wagon driver leans in first and he goes, "Now, you know what I think this was? This is way too goofy to be something serious. I think that this is a coincidence, and it was some sort of like weird party situation." And they're sort of like, come on, a party? Orange smoke from the out. And there's a hushing hand that goes up this no. Listen, here's how I think it went down. And I am starting the timer.
Okay.
So the noon bell just rang. Henny and Reggie, you're on your way up. It is not the visiting hour with Vesta. Vesta, we're picking up right where you left off, where you just saw Boru go down. You're in your room with Steelfist.
Okay.
Who's the noon appointment that you're going to meet out of all the NPCs? Maybe Blue and Absolution? Maybe Red and Elbjorn?
Yeah, Red and Elbjorn for sure. I was going to yell at Steelfist because I love him, but wait a second.
But he's with us, yeah.
All right, so you guys make your way up, and as you're walking the long bridge to the Outspire, you notice that things are different. There's almost like a different aura about things. Make your way up. You guys brought your gifts, and they got eviscerated last time. Did you bring anything else?
Probably not. We're maybe going to bring some books for people, but...
All right, you passed things off
yeah.
just yesterday and coming in for another meeting after just seeing that Chet interaction. You guys are walking up the stairs. You go past, you get searched a little bit more aggressively than the past few times. You're brought up. You meet with Red and Elbjorn. You walk in. This one's basically the same suite as Vesta's Steelfists, except this one's taken a little bit of damage. There's some cards spread out. There's some bottles sort of like half strewn over. Not a concerning amount, just a definitely all the time kind of amount. As compared to like Vesta, who's used to being really, really neat, and Steelfist, who's used to not showing signs of his presence, this one's more of a mess.
Steelfist. How's the board game? Is that any good?
They look back. Red just sort of furrows his brow and goes, I think maybe the guards might have accidentally, but I don't know. I swear we're missing. He's like in the middle of saying a few sentences, and then Elbjorn just goes, "There's a card missing. We don't know if it was the guards or if it's a misprint or if it's missing under something or something, but it's gone."
Shit. Well,
you
can try and get...
Something happened. The guards came in here a little bit ago, and they kind of like ran up to us and stuff.
Were they accusing you of anything? You didn't say anything, did you?
No.
Okay.
We just got here. We haven't really heard much. We were searched pretty aggressively, but I mean, some weird stuff has been happening lately.
It's worrying. I mean, it's not like I expected this place to be airtight, but I hope nothing serious
Red
happened.
just sort of shrugs and goes, anyways, so Reg, now that we've been here for a couple weeks, you start working on the second draft yet?
Second draft? No, I haven't been working on it at all.
Still workshopping then? I know the last one went down, but...
I think it's something that's best left behind.
He's moving on to better and greener things, I think.
Greener would be accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I chose the adjective for a reason.
You know what? Fair enough. And then there's a knock at the door. Vesta and Steelfist, you guys are sitting there in the dining room kind of talking to each other when there's a knock at the door. a few moments later, because it's not like they're going to go and answer, you don't have a doorknob. They open up, but they don't come in to search you. They just kind of open the door. There's a noble there and is reasonably well dressed. You can see that actually out in the hall for the first time, because otherwise people are shut up. Blue, Absolution are out there. Grace and Solemnity as well. There are 4 people that you can see out there. The noble looks at you and goes, I regret to inform you that we believe that Borbu committed magical suicide early in the morning. Because there's no one to prosecute, you're just kind of free to go. We'll follow up, but well, he was the only real flight risk, and the rest of you were a safety risk, and now he's gone, so
Man,
have fun.
let me get my stuff. And then
Very
we'll go
well. We're going to leave the
Stuff it.
door unbarred, and they stick a little doorstop and stopper. Knock if you need to be let out, and it gets unstopped. Otherwise, yeah. She just kind of shrugs.
Nice. Let's
There's a knock at the door with Red and Albjorn.
Oh. Hello?
It opens, and you get the same spiel.
Huh. Well, this is exactly the sort of bullshit I thought they were going to pull. There's no way he's actually dead. You know, this is just an excuse to get his body out, and then he's just going to go on the run, but...
Are they allowing anyone to investigate the body?
Yes, the town guard.
Anyone from this specific case to investigate the body?
I mean, we have
Yes,
reason to
the
believe...
investigators.
We have reason to believe that he'd be pretty adept at faking his death. He's done it before.
Yes, of course. We have our most gifted detectives on it right now. We could. I hope you weren't suggesting it would be a massive conflict of interest. We can't be having that. No, I'm sorry.
No.
Legally, there's no way that any of you could have anything to do with that investigation. Considering.
No, of course not. I just want to make sure that he's not well.
The noble kind of looks from side to side and looks at you and goes, "Between you and me, I mean, you worked with the town guard, right?"
Yes, for a time.
Go have a drink. This saves us paperwork. We had him.
All right. I just don't let him out of your sight for a little while, at least. Can you promise me that he won't be transported out of town or buried or?
We have the remains under close scrutiny.
Okay, that's all I need to hear. And I turned to Reginald and said, "You don't think he actually could be?"
I mean, I saw a head in a bucket, but I've never actually seen them regenerate. I don't know what's going on with that.
Huh. Now, Chet.
What about him?
Well, he's a life drinker. Was he always a life drinker?
Is he a life drinker?
Yes. And if I have to admit, I'm fairly competent.
So you guys, seemingly not having heard you as you rejoin everyone else, sort of out in the lobby here, Absolution chimes in and goes, "Oh, Reggie, you haven't gotten any work done on that second draft, have you?"
No, I have not.
Oh, that's too bad. I imagine things have been hectic. I didn't know if you had the opportunity or not. Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Am I here? Vesta
Yep.
in the.
You guys are
Yeah.
finally all gathered together. Once you're all there, they get you to leave because they don't want the people who are, excuse me, allegedly your pursuers to come out at the same time as you. But everyone else is there.
Huh. Well, suppose we collect our weapons and head on into the city at large.
Yeah.
I suppose.
As you guys are sort of looking from side to side, you hear the bells ring. Bong, 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 bong. Bong, 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 bong. And then again, bong, 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 bong.
It's 2.
Bong, 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 bong.
2
It's
o'clock?
noon.
It's noon.
2?
2.
Okay. Well, I can't believe he's dead.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe it
definitely
quite
can't believe
easily.
did you see anything?
Man, he was just disintegrating. Like, as they carried him away.
Actively?
Actively disintegrating.
That is not like most life drinkers when they die.
Definitely not.
This, for the most
Hey,
part,
Riz.
sounds like the people they kill and milk drive everything in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Which makes me think. Maybe
You guys
another
leave the
life
outside
drinker.
fire as you continue talking. You're out on the bridge heading back into the bulk of town.
Maybe he was killed by another life drinker.
to prevent the secret from getting out.
Mm-hmm.
That would make a lot of sense.
Interestingly, that means that they can die.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Elbjorn sort of
It's-
chuckles and he goes, "You know what I think that deserves? I think that deserves a toast."
A toast.
I would agree.
To
They are-
death.
To death. The great equalizer.
The greatest equalizer of us all.
Huh?
Steelfist looks at you guys and goes, "So we're getting drunk all day, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We can
You
kill-
guys haven't seen sunshine in forever, and we found out that our enemy's greatest strength is also their greatest weakness.
Yeah,
I love that.
drinking time.
Drinking time.
Come on,
Yeah, drink it.
Andy, you're from around here, right? Anywhere low down, they aren't likely to be taking a look. Maybe somewhere busy, lots of crowds to blend into."
Yeah, I think I know a place, and I lead Steel Fist. Remember, we'll follow down a couple of alleys in through a back door into a tavern called the Devil's Toenail. Is what it's called, actually.
The devil's toenail. I love it.
A real underground place. We busted a lot of.
Real underground because it's a devil and it's also a toenail.
That doesn't make
Yeah.
any goddamn sense.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I'm putting down sheer nonsense. You're picking up nothing. But yeah, no, this place, real empty of any law-abiding citizens, but packed with, people who are trying to lay low.
You actually remember this. There was some controversial political arrests here. There were a lot of rough types, anarchists, punks, and bikers that used to hang around here. As you walk inside, and just remember that a little too late, you hear the loud music. Then they all look. Someone, one of the bouncers, sort of points. Reggie, Henny, Vesta. And then it's there's a little light of an idea and goes, it's you. It's them. And you look up and there's a bunch of them, black leather spikes, big A symbols. There's a few of them holding sledgehammers, drinking out of broken beer glasses. There's stuff carved into the posts. There's a dagger just embedded in a nearby table. And it's tense for a second, and then the crowd just erupts.
Reggie is still incredibly tense. As soon as they recognize us, Reggie tensed. And he is still
Vesta's going to
pretty
turn to
tense.
Henny and be like, "You hang out in these places?"
Well, I arrested a lot of people in this place.
Oh.
I figure it's probably one of the better places to to hang out and lay low, and best case scenario, Chet walks in that door and we can decapitate him. Worst case, we have some drinking with some colorful characters.
I
Man.
think the problem with that would be witnesses, Annie.
You'd be surprised. And I look around at the crowd of people.
And as you're looking around, you turn back and you see that like there's some people who have gestured at the bar and they're starting to get out some mugs. They go, "So, what's your poison?"
Give me the killingest thing you got.
They just sort of smile and go, "For everybody?"
I slap down. How much gold do I have?
We have not been
Very
keeping
much.
track.
Actually, aren't you guys kind of broke?
Yeah, we're super broke.
Yeah. No, we're pretty broke.
Actually, yeah, didn't we calculate it and you literally have no money?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we may have.
Penny has spent
Oh my
the
God.
last of her money on board games.
This is true. Yeah,
Which-
I don't know if I even have any more money left.
Which, let's be real, that's how I
Yeah,
wanna
no, I have
go out.
nothing. I have nothing.
So you pat yourself down, and everyone else sort of noticing that does that, and they kind of look back and then just look at the door, and the bartender gleans what you're going for. And a few other patrons do, and they start slamming on the table going, "Workers' rights! Workers' rights! Workers' rights!" And the bartender starts pouring.
Man, these people.
Oh, man.
It's at this point that you start seeing a bunch of red coats popping out in the crowd. You've got some friends here.
We've got friends here. I take a drink.
Yeah, I'm drinking.
They start passing around, and it's one of those things where you're having a drink. You're here with people who seem to finally be giving you some recognition for the stuff you've been doing. And it's like the first one's down, and you're smiling, and the next one's down, and you're laughing, and you're not thinking about where the time goes. And you're already a little bit wonky, and it's only then that you're starting to realize that maybe the killingest thing they had is a little killinger than you expected. You guys are...
Maybe.
You're somewhere. And it's like noon, but it's just you got real smashed real fast. You're in the middle of getting stuff done, and the rest of your party is just hitting up this bar when just Henny, Reggie, and Vesta, you guys are off at the corner sitting down at the table, and you realize, Henny, you know the wallet that, what's his name, Garth stole that Reggie got back? It's not on you anymore. You're starting to think maybe you might have left it back at the tower.
Ah, shit. Well, who wants to make a tower run with me? I think I left my wallet there.
Yeah,
with
might
you.
as well. I got nothing better to do.
Okay.
So you guys sort of gesture off. The trio of you stumble out of the bar, and the light hits you, and it's like, oh, not fun. You're queasy for a second, but then you're good. And you look, and it's the Outspire. It's a really conspicuous building. You can kind of just gesture, and you go, that one. You start walking down the street.
Nice.
You guys stumble past, and it's just like the bar. People are recognizing you, but instead of sort of that uneasy twinge, more and more people are like, hey, it's them. You even hear like a mix of voices, like there's sort of waspy, like, oh, that child trafficker they're talking about in the news. Those are the people who, oh my. You make your way back to the Outspire, and you get to the guards who are looking at you guys sort of quizzically. You're
Any
back.
of you seen a wallet? I think I may have left my wallet behind.
One of them just sort of goes, hold on just a sec. He goes inside a door. It's like 30 seconds, comes outside and goes, yeah, go on ahead. One of the guardsmen is there to walk you up.
All right.
So you're going
you
up the
didn't
spiral
see-
staircase. And up the spiral staircase. The guy goes, the wallet? Well, we haven't cleaned anything yet, but we know the rooms you went to because we're keeping track. if you want to just go to them.
Yeah, I'll go inside and take a look.
You're losing your train of thought as you're going up a spiral staircase and spiral staircase and spiral staircase. And then you get to the top. You're not sure which way you're going, but the guard points you towards the first room you went to, which is Red and Albjorn's. You stumble in. You're going around and you're looking, you pick things up, you find the wallet, and you find it like underneath a couch. It must have slipped off of your belt. And as you do that, you grab what you assume is the missing game card that they were talking about earlier, Red and Albjorn.
Not that you would know. Look at the state of this place. And Reggie like kicks some bottles.
There's a
hey,
roll off to the side.
Speaking of not sort of respecting your surroundings.
All I'm saying.
Hey, Mr. Gardman.
They could clean up.
So, hey, you go. Hey, Mr. Gardman, did shit. And Reggie, you're sitting there going like, this place, and you kick over this bottle. You lose your grip. Vesta, how have you been doing? Normally I would say, have you been drinking? But for the fact that this is the hangover, I'm going to assume that you have.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Vesta's going to be like, I wonder which of these alcohols is the most flammable.
So you're like looking through, and you pick up a bottle, you look at another one. I want everybody to roll a d6.
All right.
Okay.
4.
I got a 1.
4.
All right, so Henny, you feel a gurgling in your stomach, and you bolt. You've only been here a few times, but they're not huge apartments. You get, apartment cells. You get to the privy, and you lean in to start puking. Reggie and Henny, both of you get a gurgling at the same time, and you bump into each other and fall over. You're clawing your way back up to try and roll a d6 again, just the two of you.
All right. 5. Please be a 5.
1.
Damn it.
So Vesta, you run towards the kitchen, and you look from side to side, and then luckily there's the wash basin. It's better than nothing, and you get into the wash basin. Reggie, you're at the point where you're like, it's out. You're just holding your mouth your hand desperately in front of you, and it's coming through your fingers a little bit.
Oh.
Reggie
You see a door, you see daylight, you clamber open, and you start to puke. And I don't know what was in that killer stuff, but roll ritual, Reggie.
All right, let me get right
killer.
on that. Oh, wow. 6. Literally the best I could have done.
So you puke, and right as it's coming out, there's a quarter second as you get towards the balcony, and it's like there's a bit of spray that hits the bars, and you're thinking, that's not the color it went in as. And you don't know why, but you know enough about magic to go, oh no, something bad's happening as there's a fizziness, and you can feel a bit of a warble. And then whatever sort of magical or alchemical stuff was involved in this hits the bars on the outside of the balcony, and there's a whooshing. You look, and the bars just start billowing orange smoke. Henny, you don't see anything. You just hear, clambering around you as you're easing yourself up off the privy. And Vesta, you get up, you're good. And you see that fizzing coming off of the tower, and somebody in the kitchen must have not gotten the message, and it's exactly the message that you needed right now. There's the dumbwaiter that arrives. Do you open it?
Yeah.
You open it up, and there's a couple burgers on a plate with some fries.
Nice. I
Solid.
grab one.
You're not
And
sure
I eat
why
it as
there's...
I look at the orange smoke.
Yeah, you're not sure why there's 4 plates. I guess it must have been for a meeting. But you go, huh. And you guys are all kind of, you gather around, you get your bearings. There's a smoke billowing up. You see that Vesta's got a couple plates of burgers from the dumbwaiter.
Nice.
So was Chet ever released? Like, he probably killed him, right?
One track mind.
Off the record.
You know, I did see Chet in Boru's room.
It's then that you guys suddenly get a momentary flash of pain. Things go dark, things go bright, and then you're back. You have to steady yourself. And echoing through the air, you hear, "Magical alert! Cells have been tampered with! Magical alert! Cells have been tampered with!" And there's a guard that opens the door and looks at you guys confused as you're sitting there holding burgers.
Burger?
Maybe we should go. I'm just gonna.
Well, it's been nice, but we have a Chet to catch. I mean, a bus to decapitate.
Everyone rolls some kind of social skill to get yourself out of this, because the guards are looking at you and they can tell you're drunk. They want to know if you're up to some fuckery or if you're just stumbling around.
Okay, I rolled a 1 for convince.
I'm also gonna roll convince.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll convince. That's 7.
All right, so a 1 from Henny, a 7 from Reggie. What was it from Vesta?
18.
Our leader.
All right, so Henny, you start stumbling up and you're like, you do that thing where like he doesn't react, he doesn't push you off like a guard normally would. You're so sloggy that he doesn't bother. You have a hand like draped over his shoulder, you stumble, you steady yourself, you hold up the plate and you're like, have a burger. And he just sort of like knocks your hand off and goes, personal space. Takes a step back. And Reggie, you're sitting there, you have a burger.
Only throw up a little bit. The back's fine.
And he goes, look, I'm sure it's an accident. You're obviously very drunk. And then Vesta, you're like, I'm not drunk. Just have a burger. And he looks at the 3 of you, and he looks at Vesta, and he takes the plate and just goes, go, quickly.
Bribery through
Nice.
burger.
I'm gonna scamper out on like 4 legs.
Yeah, I'm running best I can. Did we see the cell? Do you guys know where Chet is?
Oh, we never had, he was the attorney. We never had him in custody. If you need to contact him, I'm sure you can use the normal channels.
Is he like here though?
Leave
I-
it.
No, I'm asking this to Vesta. I was asking because Vesta said that she saw him dying.
Yeah, and she's just like, leave it. Don't worry about it. Let's just go.
You guys stumble out of the outspire. The guards are giving you a bit of a stink eye. You're not sure how long you were fucking around looking in there because it felt like ages, but it's still noon. You ate, so you a little bit, like not a full meal, but like very like hangover-esque. You bought something, you ate 3 bites, and then someone was like, let's go, and you left and forgot about it. You've settled your stomach enough, and as you're on your way out of the outspire, you're in the merchant district, and there's a few people outside of a tavern, and they go, it's them.
Hello. How do you feel about conspiracies?
Come have a drink, come on.
Okay.
All right, well, here's you buy me a drink. I'll tell you about the conspiracies.
And they bring you in there. You feel like a slap's on your back. There's a bunch of middle-aged people around here in pantsuits and fine clothes. Like, not fine where you're intimidated to be around them. Fine where they're obviously trying to fit in with people with fine clothes. office workers, administrators, middle managers, that kind of thing. They start handing you some beers. This one, this would compare well. It's nice wine. It's good wine.
Now, let me tell you the story of when I fought a sea demon.
Okay, well, yeah, no. You ever notice how the whole guard system, all the officers of law in the whole stinking town, they're all corrupt right down to the bone.
And you hear like a rowdy like, yeah. And then like another merchant comes in and he goes, that warmongering bastard managed to get out of that. And like this guy starts talking and other people start talking, and it's clear that a lot of these people were around from during the war. And they start going like, sold a weapon. They let him walk free after he sold weapons to those murdering bastards. You overhear conversations, and there's a lumping hand on Reggie's shoulder. Someone sort of yanks on you a little bit. You're drunk enough that you don't really react in time. And you see a face that you 100% have never seen in your life. And there's like a Pythona who looks at you and goes, I remember you, man. You've been good this whole time. Do you remember, man?
Yep, I remember.
Guy goes, Benny, job work, come here, this guy. And Henny and Vesta, you get kind of dragged into this conversation, and there's a circle that gathers around. There's some other people that you definitely haven't met them in your entire life. Both of them look at you and they go, it's the guy. Yeah. And then more and more there's a crowd gathering, and they look at you and they go, Reddy, tell me, you should, like a hero, like back in the day, tell us the story, man. And like the other guy goes, yeah, the story, what was the story?
Yeah, Reginald, tell us the story.
What's the story, Reginald?
Okay, well, here's a story, a more recent one, because everyone's heard the war story. Everyone knows the war stories. So
I haven't heard the root story.
You've heard them. Trust me, you've heard them. Here's the story of our trip here, and how we fought a sea demon that they summoned to fight us.
That didn't happen.
The people you're talking to start to look at you and go like, yeah, but come on, you remember, like 14 years ago? But they get drowned out by other people going, sea demon. Roll performance.
Oh, fuck. I'm rolling alright. 8.
You're drunk. But it seems like people here, even though it's the middle of the day, are also drunk. It's not a super dense bar. It's still noon. But you start telling the story and rambling on, and people are being drawn in and pushed back. The drinks pass on. There's a bell, maybe another bell. You don't know. And then you hear from the other end of the bar people going, heroes part, heroes, and you're trying to figure out what they're saying until you realize that it's literally a bunch of people who are saying different things. You hear heroes party, and then heroes march, and then heroes parade, and then that's the one where people suddenly go, oh, and then they're all going, heroes parade, heroes parade, heroes parade, heroes parade.
Nice. Heroes Parade. Woo! Let's do it!
We should get our friends for that.
I jump up on a table, I yell, the bastard's dead, and we know who did it!
And there's a shout that ripples through the bar. People start moving out, ushering you out. You're starting to get out into the road. Somebody's pulled a wagon out, maybe another wagon. There's people getting on. There's people marching alongside cheering. They usher you on top of the first wagon.
Nice.
And then they go, yeah, where's your buddies? Where's your buddies?
To the demon toe.
Everyone goes, demon toe! And they start going what you think is the right direction. And they start marching and marching. Somebody passes you a beer, and then somebody passes you a beer, and you a beer. And you see, like, the crowd is obviously really drunk. The guards are giving you the stink eye, and more of them are starting to follow. Clearly, they're waiting to see if this escalates. And suddenly you notice someone giving the horses a beer, and then the donkeys, and then Reggie. You start to feel it like they're getting, whoa. And then one of the guards goes, hey, you, hey, and gestures, and then without you guys being able to hear, goes sword against shield, like a big bong. Hey, easy now, it's noon. And that's enough that they spook and crash off the edge of the wagon. You see the yoke snap, and they tear at it, get free, and manage to escape. There's a panic as these horses are bucking, and people start to scatter as your wagon, already heading downhill, starts to go and go and go and go. You guys are going full tilt down the market street.
I'm watching the horses leave, casually sipping a beer, thinking, good for them.
So you're sitting there, you narrow your eyes, you have a long sip, and it's like the tankard's like a few centimeters from your face, and you go, good for them. You hit a bump, and it just splashes right in your face.
Damn it.
Reggie's gonna grab both of them and then like jump off and try and shell surf to slow down a little bit.
All right, so you lunge out and miss, and lunge out and miss, and go shell surf, and you stumble and lose your footing, and then there's a clunk. Festa and Henny, roll grace or delicate.
I think it's the same roll either way.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh no, that's an 8.
Oh no! But grace was your thing.
Physical was not.
3.
I've doomed us all.
All right, so what were those two? A 3 and an 8?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so Henny, you fall over and you grab onto the edge, and there's a lurch as this wagon suspension responds and the wagon turns a little bit. That lurch is enough that, Vesta, you fall over and you like get hit right in the gut off the edge of the wagon, and it just sets off your gag reflex. You puke and you don't see what happens, but you hear children screaming.
Vesta, once you start vomiting, if we both lead, we can steer the children away from the wagon so they won't get hit by the wagon when we plow through with the children.
And then there's a skittering as you guys get around a corner and you see yourself approaching a railing. You have a quarter second to react. You can pull left, you can pull right, you can try to brace. You can see that there's some sort of market stalls nearby on either side, really.
Right.
Reggie,
Okay.
Reggie's just like, shell surf, and goes towards the right.
You guys all, so you guys agreed on right?
Yep.
Yes.
Everyone roll odds or evens and tell me if you fuck up.
Odds.
Evens. I got it.
Evens. Odd. I fuck up.
All right, so you guys go right, and then it's Henny, who's a little bit smaller than mid-size, Reggie, who's a massive turtle man, and Vesta, who's a little bit smaller than normal, going the other direction. So you guys heave it one way. Vesta, you go the other way, and the tipping of the wagon like launches you upwards. You get airtime, or the rest of you guys, you plow through a market cart. It knocks you flying. You see the wagon flip and then go over the railing and crash into a building.
Oh, the cabbages.
You guys look back as you see that like you've clearly knocked over whatever was in this, and there's a bunch of debris that falls down. You guys fall into a heap, luckily into a bunch of cloth. Vesta, you're looking up and you just see sky, and then you're in a bale of hay, but whatever big cacophony this causes, there's a clanging, and a banging, and you hear the bells going off again, and a bunch of chickens that have burst free of their cages from the impact of things falling and rubble start just flooding through the market square, and you hear people going, whoa, 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 and the commotion starts to really kick in.
Time to run!
Time to get out of here. Wait, Henny, they're gonna know who you are. They're gonna know that you crashed into the market.
That's right. I grabbed some of the cloth and I wrapped my face mummy style with just one eye sticking out.
You do that, and you're sort of like, and as you're going and trying to get it, like you're fully visible, and you see a couple of people on the railing above pointing at the rest of you. You guys are behind something, so you don't see this, but Henny, you see them point directly at you. You have really good hearing, and you hear basically like dark clothes, but with a green coat and a hood.
Does anyone have any more clothes?
Probably. You gotta take your clothes off. Put it on the chicken. The chicken could be Henny, and they'll arrest the chicken.
You're so smart. I grab the nearest chicken, and I stuff it into my hat, and I tie my jacket around it.
So you lunge towards a nearby chicken, and it goes and starts rushing off. As this happens, you start to hear what were just sort of panic screams turning into fear screams as these chickens start panicking and getting aggressive. There's a clang, and a clang, and you see that this wasn't some falling rubble that bust open the cages. These were kicked open. There's 3 almost meter-tall chickens. Someone must have been doing some cockfighting here. They all have actual, like, blade-affixed beaks with, like, the claws on their, like, feet and everything.
We
They
need
lock eyes
a
at you, and
distraction.
they start to charge.
Reggie is going to try and like be like, chickens, freedom, like lead them towards the exit.
Roll Druid.
All right. Okay, that was a roll. Let's see, that is a 13.
All right, so you go point, and you turn around, and all the smaller chickens start flocking in the direction you pointed. And you turn around, and you see this thing right in front of your face. This didn't affect the ones that were back here. They start lunging at you, 3 of them at once.
Oh, fuck.
The first one is going to be a 13 to hit.
I'm gonna try to interrupt this by
I was going to
throwing
say
a
13 doesn't hit.
I'm gonna try to force blast these chickens.
All right, so the first one lunges, and Reggie, you see this thing's beak go clang with the amount of force that someone with like a warhammer pick would go against your armor with. You take it right, but like, ooh, that wasn't good. Give me some rolls.
I got a 10 to force blast these chickens.
So you like slap down onto the earth with some magic, and there's like big path and a bunch of dust, and these chickens seem to kind of panic back a little bit, but this just seems to make them aggressive. The crowd is starting to move with you behind you as the chickens are leaving the market square and get some more distance. You might be able to blend back in with them if you start to run.
Time to run!
Run!
Reggie recognizes the words run.
I'm gonna knock over as many crates and things in our path so the chickens get all tripped up.
All right, so you start running, and you're like throwing things behind you. You look back, you see the chickens like clambering through. You run, you're trying to get distance. You go to grab something, throw it back, and as you've got like a bunch of canvas from a nearby tent, and you're moving it. There's a slash, and one of the chickens comes right at you, like, and it lunges at you. So that's going to be a 15 to hit.
Okay.
I'm gonna stonewall this.
No, you don't. I am using Grace
Okay.
to try and. As the chicken bursts through and screams at me, I want to put my head on the chicken. Like, really just shove it on his stupid head so we can't see anything.
All right, so this chicken comes through and you panic and your cloak gets tangled over you and your drunkenness and you kind of go, oh, fuck it, you just throw something and this thing gets tangled in your hood. It starts to run off and then another one of these comes at you and you go, ah, and you tear off your jacket and throw it and these things all, like, there's a kerfuffle and you don't know what happens. But your coat and your hood are gone. Now you're just wearing sort of dark clothes.
Okay. They got us all clothes in the market, right?
You don't have any money.
You look around and you see, like, feathers. You see things having been thrown over in the disorder, and you see guards coming from up near the edge of the market square to investigate the fuss.
We gotta run.
I'm running. I'm also grabbing any clothes that we see nearby.
I was gonna say Reggie is taking off his hat and putting it on Henny.
All right, so you guys are running. You're taking off and exchanging clothing, and in all the distraction, you trip. One of you falls, and one of you is passing something, and the other one goes. And Vesta, you see your friends fall off another rail that hasn't been fixed yet from a different thing into a different warehouse with a hole in the ceiling.
Man, I go to my friends.
All right, you hop and you go foof, and there's some more hay.
We're following. No matter what happens, we are following Vesta. But like,
so yeah, Reggie and Henny, you pull yourselves and end up going off the edge. And Vesta, you go, huh. You shrug and you jump in behind them. When you guys gather yourselves and get a little bit of flame light with your hands, because you're in an empty building with no light source or anything, you see that it seems to be some kind of farmer's warehouse. It's dark. There's just the flickering of that sort of light at the end of your thumb, and you see a glint of metal in the darkness.
Reggie immediately is just like, you don't want to fight us when you could have freedom.
The glint of metal is gone from another direction.
Seriously, how many cockfights are going on here?
cock. That's like.
Yeah. Henny, we all read that book.
Oh. Okay. Just trying to be funny. You know, it's fine.
We need to get out of here.
Why do you always got to shoot down my ideas?
We need to get out. We need an idea to get out of here.
Door?
Where?
You look and you see a pair of double doors, and right as you're thinking of that, you see another door to the side, and from both of those directions, you hear, "We know you're in there. Come on easy now. You got real crazy real fast, but you got to put a lid on it."
Huh.
Well, I mean...
Can you aggravate the chickens to run through the door?
Something tells me that won't be a problem.
And then we can escape in another way.
Well, get ready to open the doors and I'll piss off some chicken.
Let's do it.
And Reggie just kind of, again, is just like, chicken friends, your oppressors are there. Fight them.
All right, roll Drew.
That is a 16.
All right. So you point in the direction. You can see like now that it's been more than a second or two, you can see the underline of the door, and you point. The rest of you do, and you knock open this door, and the chickens charge. You only saw one, but it's now that you see that all three were in here. They move out and overwhelm the guard, who doesn't have a chance to look at you. Henny, you're in the darkness, and you see her clothes like roughing in the distance. There's a guard coming in towards you, and you see a scarecrow nearby.
Obviously, the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, Scarecrow no Jitsu.
Yeah, I put the. Okay, you know what? You know what I do? I grab the scarecrow. I grab the tatters of my clothes and sort of tie it to the scarecrow while my friends are getting the door open. I'm gonna put the scarecrow in the corner, and I'm gonna say, I'm too drunk to run away. And then I'm gonna climb out.
What? No, back up. You said like 16 things. What the hell are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm grabbing the scarecrow. Put my clothes on it.
And there's a guy running at you, and there's clothes like flying midair. You don't have that kind of prep time.
Oh, I see. Then I'm grabbing my clothes, and I'm grabbing the scarecrow, and I'm gonna do a cool slide under his legs.
All right, so you go to try and grab him from midair. You miss the coat, and he goes high, and you go low, and the guy grabs onto your arm. You twist free. You feel him grab the scarecrow. You slip past. As this happens, Vesta and Reggie, you're on either side of the door. You see this guy tackle what you think for a quarter of a second is Henny, and you see her come out just in sort of like the stuff that she wears underneath the coat, just like a black shirt, black pants. Just go, 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 go. And you see that there's a guard who's in the middle of trying to duel a couple of like fighting chickens in the middle of the street.
Time to run!
Time to run!
So you start scampering off, and Henny, you turn around because you hear them talking, and it's now that in the haze you recognize like not people you know personally, just people you know in passing, and it's a guard you knew going, "God, Henny, I got her! Look, I got her!" And you see out of the alleyway, there's the guard sort of picking feathers out of his armor, going, "Yeah, that's Henny. Why don't you put her on the commissioner's desk, huh?" The guy goes, "Come on." And the guy goes, "No, I'm your superior officer. You think that's Henny? Go on." And you hear the argument going off as you start running off into the distance. You're there, and you see a bunch of guards marching down the street when that little hole in the wall, just when you need it.
Dive
Nice.
into that hole in the wall.
Let's go.
You guys escape. You dive into the hole in the wall. You open the door and slam it. And the group you were with right when this all began in this party, they look back at you and go, "Hey, you're back!" And they welcome you back in.
We've been here the entire time.
If anyone asks, we were here. Have a drink.
And there's like a ha, ha, ha. Sure, that's how it happened. Of course that's how it happened. One of the three people with the Tim Hortons kind of shrugged. No. Come on. Drunken people running around in Victory? That's not realistic. What's the next one going to be?
I don't know. That sounds pretty realistic for us.
The next one has to be the government conspiracy.
Government conspiracy.
All right. Now, I reckon this is all a cover-up. And then this isn't the situation that the police wanted to be in from the beginning with, because they were involved in this the whole time. Here's how it went down. She leans in real close and beckons the other people with Tim Hortons and starts telling the story. So Vesta, Henny, Reggie, as usual, Vesta and Steelfist are in the room. Henny and Reggie, you guys are up to see Red and Elbjorn. Door closes behind you as you guys walk in. It's noon.
So, how's the board game?
Oh, we're missing a card. I don't know where it is, though. Henny, you spy something from underneath the couch. You think it might be the card.
Oh, I'll look under the couch.
You lean over and they both look, and you take out a card and you go, "Huh." And it's got words on it, and it says, "Dick and Shame."
I'm sorry, what?
Okay.
Nice.
Is this?
And then Red goes, yeah, I think that was, because I think they had the rest of them, and Elbjorn just goes, okay, that's the card that we're looking for. Moving on, legal things.
Mm-hmm. Well, in legal news, Chet is a life drinker.
Now we don't know that.
Sort of knock that one down. He's also a pretty competent legal aid.
We don't have
Red
proof of that
sort of-
one either.
Red narrows his eyes and goes, yeah, that doesn't... We don't have any sort of previous information. Like, what do you mean Chet's a life drinker?
Well, he done drunked my life.
I have to go to the bathroom, so if you want to summarize what went down in the previous session while I do that would be wonderful.
He did some legal stuff. He did law real good. Even when I tried to trip him up, he still knew the law. And then he slurped some of my life clean out of my head.
Clean out of your life-full body.
Oh my God.
I'm still trying to figure out why Will had two characters specifically ask about a thing that Reggie had clearly given up on. And it's driving me mad. But I don't want to admit to Will that it's driving me mad.
Yeah?
Because in my head, they're now shapeshifters that have taken the place of Red and Absolution. Because my head apparently works like Henny. I come up with crazy shit.
It's possible. Certainly possible.
Yeah.
Man. I'm trying to think now, and like that, yeah, that would make sense. But I think they're just legitimately your friends that are like, man, I wonder how my friend's doing with the
Yeah, I
manuscript.
mean, that's what I thought it was, but maybe it's...
Wait, what's going down?
Oh, I was
Nothing?
just talking about how I'm paranoid. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
All right, so you're kind of summarizing. Red looks at your eyes and goes, yeah, you've got the little lines. You've been life drunk. So you think it's Chet, eh? He's become one.
Yes, I know almost for a fact it's Chet.
That means that we have to... And then, seemingly sort of like distracted by something off in the distance, Elbjorn tunes back in like he hasn't been paying attention to the conversation. He goes, oh, right, I have to get you some documents. And he goes upstairs.
Cool.
Documents.
Fresh documents. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, Vesta, you're with Steel Fist. Stuff that happened previous session just happened. You're just there in the dining room after having your room searched a little while later.
I think he's like totally dead. Like I don't think this is like not dead. I think this is like totally 100% dead. Like he was disintegrating when I saw him go through the hallway.
Isn't that what they were saying happens to some people when you drink them dry when you're a life drinker? Because I think that is it.
You think he was drunk by another life drinker and that's like how he died?
Maybe, because I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean,
Does that mean that only other life drinkers can kill life drinkers? Because that would be really annoying.
well, sorry, I'm trying to picture the scene. We go upstairs, because we saw it from
Yeah.
the window, right? Yeah. And you guys walk upstairs, he goes, right, so we were coming out of, and he goes to point, and he just goes silent. You look, and you see that Garth and Marquis, the one that you only met once or twice, are heading into what looks like Grace and Solemnity's room, and the guards are letting them in.
Huh. Well, that doesn't look good.
You look up and you see that across the way, Elbjorn is at his desk, and he looks to that, and he looks at you.
I give him like one of these.
He just sort of looks from side to side, and then he goes back away from the window.
Huh.
Well, shit.
Shit, indeed.
So you think, Steel Fist, that the another life drinker killed him?
Yeah, because... And he stops at the cuz. He, like, loses his sentence and he just quietly, like, points. And you see the guards open the door. And Cree walks into the room. Into Grace and Solemnity's apartment.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Look who's got his body back. We should go turn him into a head.
And then before too long, the doors open again and the three of them leave. And they go right next door. And you see them go into Blue and Absolution's room. The door closes.
They're gonna kill our friends!
Should do something about it.
Henny and Reggie. You're there with Red as Elbjorn comes down. He's holding a piece of paper and he goes, hey, I just saw, whatever that guy's name was, Wallet guy. And then the other one that we didn't really, I don't know, but they just went into someone's room. I think something messed up might be happening.
Are we locked in this cell?
Yeah, it would be barred from the outside when you went in.
We could to leave.
Nope. If they are killing them, they'll be coming for us next.
So this happens for everyone. You guys hear magical detonations going off. Not like explosives, but like spells, bursts, that kind of thing.
Okay,
That's
we need
my
to get out of
boy.
here now. I knock on the door.
There's no answer.
Reginald, if you would be so kind.
The sounds of magic stop.
Yep, gonna slam it. If nothing else,
All
they'll
right.
hear this.
Okay, so Reggie Vesta and Steelfist. You see the three of them leave.
Cree and
Cree, Marquis, and Garth.
How are they looking?
how are they looking?
They look to have a decent bit of blood sprayed on them. The guards let them into the next room.
They're letting them kill him systematically. I'm gonna start yelling. I'm gonna
All right,
start
what do you start yelling?
screaming. You can't let them in the rooms like that. I see what you're doing. I'm a witness to these murders.
So you start screaming like, I see you now, and you can tell they can only hear that there's noise, but nearby, like a few seconds later, there's people looking through the curtains. You see, like, across the way, like, Trunk and Elmira getting ready, and then there's a crash as Reggie bursts out of one of the rooms. So, Reggie, you just slammed down the door, and all the guards are taken by surprise as Henny, Red, and Eldorn are with you.
Reggie's just going to look at the guards and just like, you best get out of my way.
All of them turn towards each other, turn back towards you, and then you, just meanwhile as this is happening, not like it's triggered by this, you hear the fizzing after the door broke just a few seconds later, and there's orange smoke that starts coming off of the tower, and you hear, "Magical alert! Cells have been tampered with. Magical alert!" and all the guards turn towards you, and then a group of them storm in. There's a crash as the door to Trinket Elmira's room bursts open, and the two of them come out.
Wait, what
Vesta,
room did Creed go into?
You're not sure.
Oh my. Okay, I'm gonna yell at Reggie. Check Blue's room. Go to Blue.
Where's
And I'm gonna try
Blue's
to
room
bust
in
the door.
relation to me and the guards?
You see Vesta shouting. You hear Vesta's voice, but it's too muffled by the glass. You can't tell.
Damn it. Damn my normal ass hearing.
Quickly, the guards start pouncing onto you, and you see them going for their weapons. You wouldn't have had your weapons up here, would you?
No, but Reggie doesn't need it because he's just going to barrel through a couple of guards in this confined hallway with a shell bash.
All right, give me some damage.
I'm gonna bust down my door if I can.
All right. You basically say, like, they're going for people. We got to bust down the door. And as you're getting ready, Steel Fist is ready for you. You rush in with the heave, and so does he, and it busts open with a burst of force. It's a distraction, right, as you see... Give me a number.
21.
You see Reggie plow a bunch of guards to the other side of the room.
And then grabs one of their weapons.
All right.
Preferably the biggest he can find.
I'm gonna run to Blue's room.
All right, you run towards that room and open the door, and you see what looks like absolution on the ground. You don't see Blue. You notice that the door to the balcony is open.
I'm gonna go to Absolution. Is he dead?
You see a deep gash, and he's not moving or responding to anything. You don't
Where
feel
is the gash? Oh,
The gash is like across the chest mostly. You think it might have hit the neck, but you won't find that out unless you investigate further. It's not moving.
I go to the balcony. Is there...
You run forward towards the balcony, and you can see that there's a blue hat that's just kind of, with the pull of the wind, flopping against the bars.
Oh, maybe he got away then. Okay, I run back out. And I go to the room that they had, like, Kree and them had just gone into.
So you head out of that room, and you can see that there's...
Whoa.
Ooh, we have an internet moment.
We gotta zoom in on Chelsea.
That's me.
Goodness.
Yep, that was Gabe.
No, I can't hear anything but me.
Yep. He dropped.
Gabe dropped.
What a loser.
Yeah, so Gabe is on his phone so that we don't have to do the splitting the audio thing.
Yeah, the professional jank that we do for Bloodwine.
Yep.
If you just use an audio splitter, then the audio is half as loud because it doesn't amplify properly because... ...
I'm back.
Okay.
Hello.
We're good.
All right, so you start turning towards this, and as you're getting ready to go to the next room, you get tackled to the side of the room by a guard. Vesta, you look up as this guy's taking a knife out of his belt, and he starts going for your throat.
I'm gonna force blast him as much as I possibly can.
Give me a roll.
I actually don't know how many dice I'm rolling for this.
I feel like it was 2.
2 plus 3.
10 to force blast this guy away from me.
Bow!
All right, so you manage to knock away the blow, but he starts getting in close. Reggie, you make your way up after knocking a few of them down, and you manage to get your hand at an arming sword. At this point, you see out of the corner of your eye what seems to be like where your weapons were put up, just you and Henny's, not everyone else's, just because you guys came in and were searched.
Would I also see that? Because if I do, I'm running for that.
It's one of those things where, like, Reggie, you would see it, turn your head. Henny, you would see Reggie turn ahead, look where he's looking, and then notice it and go for it. You run up and you've got both of your hatchets.
And Can I toss Reggie his? Actually, can I toss a hatchet to Red, or I guess Elbjorn, because Elbjorn knows how to fight with a sword. I don't know what Red uses.
All right, so you go and you start scrambling for things. You hold out a hatchet, and Elbjorn grabs it, and you can see him. He actually throws it within a small distance of your face, and you look back and you see it embed itself in a forehead. You feel him lurch against your shoulder as he flips over you, grabs the hatchet, and starts fighting. As you're there with one hatchet, Red lunges underneath, grabs Reggie's axe, and starts hacking away at some of these guards. They start retreating, and you have a brief moment as the door opens, and you can see, soaked in blood, are Kree, Marquis, and Garth.
Is Elbjorn here?
Right now, it's you guys as well as Trunk and Elmira. So Vesta, Elbjorn, Steelfist, Henny, Reggie, Trunk, Elmira.
Oh, I know what I want Elbjorn to do. I know what I want Elbjorn to do so bad.
We all know what we want Elbjorn to do.
Go for the trifecta. Get it.
All right, so you're fighting, you're pushing people to the side. You feel awkward fighting with an arming sword. It's not your usual weapon. This door bursts open. You look up, you see Kree. You look over, and Elbjorn's awkwardly fighting with a hatchet, and he looks at you. You nod, you quickly swap weapons, and he runs forward, and you see him rush, kick Garth to the side, come within an inch of Marquis' stiletto, and then there's a lop, and you see Kree's head start to roll as Elbjorn kicks off a wall and gets out of there. At that point, Trunk is just bellowing like, run, 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 and he points at the stairs. You guys see, after that first blitz and managing to collect yourselves, that you're clearly outnumbered.
Okay. I run.
Yep, I'm running too.
Would I be able to reach Kree's head?
Not from here, but you and Elbjorn have been fighting side by side for a while. You can see him running and holding Kree's head.
Okay.
Perfect.
Then I will make sure that we get out of here with Kree's head.
How many times have we decapitated Kree?
3.
Exactly 3.
Oh, man.
It's been Elbjorn every single time, and I love it.
Well, because the first time it was like he had Deathstroke, and it was for the one clutch moment it needed to be, and it was just to show off. And then you guys went, oh, that? Could you do that every time? And then both me as a GM and Elbjorn as a PC went, okay, that can be the job Elbjorn does. Yeah. And since then, it's just been Elbjorn doesn't use his Deathstroke, because there's always one moment a PC goes, Elbjorn now!
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
And it's always so perfect.
So you guys are all clustered together, and you run down to the base of the tower. You can hear outside some sort of commotion. People seem to be readying an attack. But as of now, you're able to quickly go and put all your things on.
Okay, hurry. We don't have a lot of time. Is there a wagon or anything that we could use to hasten our escape?
You're not really sure from here.
Okay.
But we got Kree's head, man.
I am looking for a knife. Literally anything sharp and pointy. Like, I'm assuming we're down here, like, in the area where they keep confiscated weapons.
So, yeah, you're looking through, you get all your stuff. There's some stuff that must have belonged to other people, and then you see Absolution's sword.
I chuckle to myself and I grab the sword.
All right. You all quickly arm yourselves and get ready to burst through the door.
Do I have my bonds?
Yep. You're all armed up and ready to go.
Armed up, ready to go. Okay. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Yep. All right. You kick open the door, and you can hear someone go, fire!
I agree.
Sounds good, bitch!
I throw a firebomb.
All right, so Trunk quickly moves to try and body block. A few people go low.
Yeah, Reggie is
Elmore
also
and-
moving to body block.
So Reggie, you feel a tink and then a tink of another crossbow bolt. You see Red get caught in the leg. And one of those clearly like Red, you hear Red go, motherfucker, my leg, almost angry. Like he's still able to keep running. The firebomb goes high and then lands amid the troops.
Nice.
At this point, you hear them going, full artillery, no quarter! And you see them taking out like a couple of their alchemists getting ready and putting some bombs in slings.
God.
You look to one side and you just see mountain. You look to the other side and you see a building with a soft-looking roof.
Building with a soft-looking roof.
That's probably our best bet.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Well, as we're sort of staring down and say, Reginald, why don't you go first? I'd rather me on top of you than you land on me.
Fair enough. And Reggie.
So as you're sitting there going, rather I land on you than you land on me. Reggie has a chance to go, all right, sounds good, and jumps off. And then during the time you take to talk, you get a crossbow bolt for 24 in the side of the arm.
God!
And he does?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, not much I can do about that. I'm still kicking, though. I'm not quite hurt yet.
All right. You guys all bail off that side. There's a moment where, Reggie, you kind of sit there and go, oh, deja vu, as you're tumbling into the abyss. And everyone else is going, oh, I guess this is where my life ends. And then there's a moment to grab your bearings. There's a ringing. There's a lurching after you guys landed. And then a light. And as you guys get yourself up from the disorientation, you see that you must have landed in a cart that is now moving full tilt. There's some barn doors that were opened, and there's a wagon that's just going. You look back, and there's a really, really confused wagon driver just looking out of his own stable gates and then up the roof.
Hi, do you like conspiracies?
Do you like conspiracy?
And you turn a corner.
Yeah, I am saying, okay, can we reach the, there's not a steering column on a wagon, but it has that sort of front yoke that attaches to the horses that spins. Are we able to reach that?
You'd be looking for the reins, and yeah, they're kind of like, it's like a loose rope kind of going like, whack, 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 and it's up at the front of the wagon.
All right, there's no horses attached to the wagon, eh?
No, they're
So
horses. They're the reasons that it bolted off. You
Oh.
guys landed directly in the wagon, spooked the horses, and then they bolted out of the stable.
All right, I'm grabbing the reins.
All right, roll Grace.
That was a bad grace roll. That's a 7.
All right, you go as you reach for it, it misses, and then it whacks it across the side of your face. You stumble, and it gets tangled, and you've got the yokes. By now, you haven't had a chance to quite get things going in time, and so you're not able to get back onto the road. You're not able to avert disaster. You're already tumbling off of the edge of like a railing. You grind against it, you feel it bust.
Shit. Well, I'm going to try to throw myself clear of the wagon as to not be caught in the horrific rubble of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
All right, so you guys like jump back towards the road. You catch the edge of the railing. You get up and you see the horses struggling. In a quick moment, Reggie, you rush for the axe and you slash in the reins that are holding them to the yoke break. The reins that are holding them break. You slash another time and cleave the yoke off, and you hear the wood splinter and the wagon groan off the edge, and the horses kind of run, still spooked, but safely still on the road off in the distance. You look down and you see the wagon just sitting in the hole in someone's roof.
We're gonna get blamed for that.
A quarter seconds later, you look down and you see what are clearly a couple construction workers holding like sledgehammers. You look down a little bit and distantly you can see like a for demolition sign on the door, and you look back at them and they just kind of shrug and keep going about their business like nothing happened.
Okay. Okay, we can use this to our advantage. The guards haven't been able to catch up to us. We have a bit of time. What if we fake our deaths? What if we died in this wagon accident?
I don't know how well that worked.
You can hear the clattering of people like soldiers in heavy armor running around corners, getting closer and closer.
Okay, maybe not. Let's run.
Yeah, let's run.
You start to bolt, and you see them in the road, and you turn down an alley, and you get back to the road, and you see them at the edge of the alley, and you turn around the corner, and you get towards another railing. This one's kind of just like an, fuck it, short one. You hop, you end up in a little bit of like water reservoir. It's a little bit like sewage, but you clamber over the other end and you run as you see the guards sort of looking over the railing, watching you bolt. You've got a bit of headway, and you're here in the thick of the city. You see what looks like an open warehouse door as there's a wagon leaving and someone looking the other way.
Ooh.
In there.
Yeah.
Good place to hide.
Is there this is a warehouse, eh?
Yeah.
Full of crates?
So you're going in there, and you're looking around going, how am I gonna play this? Is this crates? Is this? And you hear the deafening sound of hundreds of chickens in cages stacked together.
Okay, well, a chicken cage is about head-sized. I open up a chicken cage and I say, go free, little friend.
So you open up the chicken cage, and one of the chickens sort of starts wandering off and out the door. You put the head in, it dribbles down to the other chicken. You can see now the conspicuous like dribble of blood that goes out the door and back in. That's when it's a dark warehouse, and there's lots of like stacked crates of chickens all over the place. And you hear, "You gotta be in here, this warehouse, I think."
Okay, so this is gonna cut a little tight time-wise. Steel Fist?
Yeah.
Do you think you could punch a big old hole in like the back wall that's holding all these kind of crates together?
And he looks from side to side and he goes, "No, I'm one with the steel. I'm one with the steel." And he's in the middle of the warehouse. And you see him hold still for a second, and then he jumps, he spin kicks one of the crates, and there's like a resonance and a pop, 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 pop. He's still, he punches another one, he elbows one, and then he jumps and axe kicks the other. He's still, and he goes, he looks from side to side, and you hear click, 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 and all of the cages open, and a bunch of chickens swarm past. You see the guards just about to come in, and then they get overwhelmed by a wave of chickens that covers your escape.
Okay, I think that's our cover. Reginald, can you make those chickens explode?
Explode? No. Very, very angry, maybe.
Okay, well, that will work too.
Suddenly, Reggie, roll Druid. You're overcome with a ravenous fucking hunger.
That would be a 17.
17. Hey, below you, you look over, you see a railing. This, to be clear, I know there's been a lot of railings. Hammerhold is built into the side of a mountain, so it's like level. There's another railing. You think you might have an opening.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
You gesture, and in the heat of the moment, your allies follow. You guys go, hup, 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 and you land in a big wagon full of hay.
Okay.
So you're the first one to start to get up, Henny, and you come out of the hay, and you go, okay, so, and then you feel like a hand around your face that pulls, and then Bea just gives you a sign like, and shoves you back in the hay.
Good call.
You're not sure what's happening. You hear some sort of banter. The wagon slows, starts again.
Ugh.
And a few minutes pass, and then there's like, you hear like, okay, you're good, you're good. You guys get up, and through the back of a wagon, you see yourselves leaving Hammerhold. It's gates in the distance. A bunch of guards leaving, looking confused. It's not the first time that you've left in a wagon like this. But I guess you're out.
Now
Guess
we
we're
do the
out.
fake our death plan.
Okay. Well, yeah, 100%. I'm stuffing. As soon as I got into the wagon, I was stuffing my jacket with straw. Also, can I roll medical real quick? I know that medicine hasn't maybe reached the pinnacle that we have here in our time when we know how to cure everything, but would I be able to roll medical to determine which part of someone's brain would just be the worst to have a sword through if they were still living and trying to think?
The head. That's all you got.
Okay, then I take Absolution's sword, and I said, I think the big problem was we left these guys too intact. And I put one side of the sword in the bars, and I say, Reginald, would you sort of apply the mechanical force here?
Yep.
And you go, and you grab it, and you take it out completely and put it through a different bar, because Henny isn't that great of a fighter. And you shove it through the head.
All right.
You guys wagon off into the distance, but no, that's not how that went down at all. Are you kidding me? Dark magic. Back at the Tim Hortons. I'm telling you, man, it's dark magic. You know how I think it went down?
How'd it go down?
Well, thing is, you gotta understand. There are these people that walk around in dreams. Vesta, you're there with Steelfist after witnessing what you witnessed last time. You're discussing things in the dining room.
He's like totally dead. Like, not even just dead. Like, he's like dead, Like he was disintegrating.
Steelfist nods, but he's kind of just looking in no particular direction. Sorry, I just kind of... Hold on. Let me check something. And he goes upstairs. Just gonna quickly grab something from the fridge real quick.
Steelfist wandering away, grabbing stuff from the fridge. All the time.
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of his trademark. Old fridge fist. That's what the ladies call him.
That's a terrible nickname. The ladies are calling him Fridge Fist. I'm worried about it. Like, I don't know, his blood circulation? Like, what the fuck?
Alright, I'm back.
Alright,
I returned to cackling.
what's old Fridge Fist doing?
The crucial part of that joke is that's what the ladies call him.
Yeah, you go upstairs to follow him, and he pushes past you to go downstairs. You blink and you turn around and you hear him closing the door to the kitchenette thing. And then there's like a ding, ding, ding. And then quiet.
Go see what the dinging's all about.
All right, you walk down and you open the door and you see Steelfist like having reached into the dumbwaiter to get like the string that must activate the bell. He lets go of it and quietly turns back towards you, but his eyes are just blank. His voice sounds, well, it mostly sounds like Steelfist, but you're starting to understand where Steelfist learned to talk the way he did, as a different familiar voice comes out of his voice, how it comes out of his mouth. Now, come on. Just one husk? Y'all are too simple. Too simple. And then Steelfist goes to sucker punch you with an uppercut.
Force blast! As a retaliation.
So he lunges at you with a 21 to hit.
That definitely hits. And I'm gonna hit him with a 10 force blast after he hits me.
All right. So he punches you and you reel back a little bit. Desperately, you fling some magic back, and he seems to just sort of like shuffle to the side of it a little bit, and then he lunges in for another good hit.
I try to dodge.
Goodness gracious.
Would an 18 hit hypothetically?
Yes.
Oof.
All right, so you take 3 damage, and you feel yourself just hurled, and the door crumples behind you as you're thrown a good 3 meters through the doorway.
I run.
Reggie, Henny, you guys are in the middle of your meetings with Elbjorn and Red. You're going like, nice card game. And then both of you look back. Both of them in unison look at you and go, they have something absent about them and go, yeah, you guys want to play? We have time. Let's do a game.
I mean, visiting hours are only a couple of minutes. This game says it'll take 45. I
believe it says that it takes 3 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on players.
Something immediately starts to unsettle you guys. Their eyes are wrong, and they're slowly walking towards you. Come on. And they say this at the same time. We have time for a game.
I think you'll find that we do not, right, Henny?
Yeah. No, we did not. Can I roll Arcana to see if this would be something that a life drinker could do, is take over people's bodies like this?
Go for it.
All right, that is a 9 plus 12, 21.
No, you know exactly what does this. Dark magic.
Okay.
And as it's starting to dawn on you, the two of them lunge at you. Vesta, you get up in the middle of the dining room as Steelfist is walking through the busted open doorway.
I'm gonna run, get to the door, knock on it.
All right, so you're running and you run up to the door. You're going like boom, boom, boom. And Steelfist is just getting closer and closer, and he goes, "Should have ran when you had the chance." And he jumps across the room for another slug with his fist.
Oh man,
that's going to be a 17 to hit.
I don't know what my is that a 7?
You have.
I want to say you had 7. 7 seems like the number.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that totally hits. Even if I try to dodge.
So yeah, he manages to get you. He aims for the face, and you block somewhat, but he still gets you in the shoulder in a way that really fucking hurts. He then lunges at you for a grab. And that's going to be just to hit, thank fuck, a 24.
Yes, that definitely hits.
All right, so you're like, he goes to grab you and he's about to reel back, and you can see like the magic arcing off of his hand as he's got you prone and against the wall. You could fight all you wanted, but this gets drawn out when it's just you and him, and by now he's got you against the wall and he's going for the last hit. When the door finally opens, the guards look at you and their eyes are seeing you, they're recognizing. They intervene and yank him off of you, and you can see them run Steel Fist through with a sword. They look back at you and just go, "What the?" And then there's slamming, and then the guards open the door across the way, and you see Reggie and Henny opening the door as Red and Elbjorn are just like walking towards them as the guards are trying to shove them back into the room. There's more knocking at a few of the other doors, and the guards just kind of look at each other. They don't open them, and there's a smack of lightning as one of them bursts open, and you see Blue and Absolution start to come out. There's another clunk, and you see Trunk just batter down a door, and Elmira comes out. All of them look at the three of you with dead eyes. The guards stop fighting and all look at you too. All at the same time, with Boru's voice, they kind of just laugh and go, "You underestimate me so much." You guys have just enough time to get to the spiral staircase that they all start walking in. You see, as all of them are coming in, there's some sparks coming through the open doors. You reckon from the windows, some sort of fizz, and you hear, "Warning! Cells compromised. Magical alert!" It starts to echo around the spire as all the guards and all your former allies start coming towards you.
Okay, we need to go. This is bad. This is really, 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 really bad. I didn't even think he had magic.
Time to go. Time to run.
Yep.
So you guys scramble down the stairs. You burst through as a couple of confused guards who, they're not going to stop you from leaving. They're just going to stop you from entering. They let you go as you quickly gather your things. And they start to gather their own weapons, confused as they see all of these people coming down from the outspire.
You might want to run.
They look at you and nod, and then you guys run to the other end of the bridge towards where the outspire meets the town. You start moving from side to side. You see an alley you might start to go down, and then you see people on the street look at you with dead eyes, and you look back at the guards with you, and they look at you with the same empty eyes, and they smile. You look down the street, through windows, through doorways, and they're all watching. Slowly, knowing they could catch up if they ran, just doing it for pure intimidation, the people just start walking towards you pace by pace, but with you and a railing behind you. You look back and you see what looks like a fragile warehouse ceiling, far down enough that, fuck it.
Yep. Time to go.
I'll break through.
Good plan.
So, Reggie, you go first, and everyone else quickly follows as you crunch through this roof. It's enough to slow your fall, but everyone takes 2d6 damage. You don't fall on anything under the roof.
Okay. So, 2 6s, come on.
I rolled a 6 and a 1, so, averaged out on that.
I rolled 2 1s.
So you guys tumble on top of each other. You clutch at your sides. You're sure you're going to wake up with bruises. And there's a dim rattling, and then you must have dislodged something with the debris because there's a clanging and a clanging and a clanging and a deafening clucking as a bunch of chickens just start rushing out of shattered cages and out onto the street through a semi-open door. As the chickens rush towards there, they push it and it sort of opens up into the market. People seem confused for the time being.
Okay. I have an idea. I think maybe if he's controlling all of them, if we can distract enough of them, we can maybe distract all of them. Does that make any sense?
Well, yeah, he is only one mind.
So what I'm thinking, if we can build a really crude dummy of ourselves, put it on a wagon, and just freak those horses out, maybe they'll try and stop that wagon. That'll give us enough time while everyone in this town who's controlled is trying to stop one wagon. We can sneak out.
Sure, I mean, it's worth a try.
We're going to have to move fast.
You look around, you wait, and then you run from warehouse to warehouse. You get into the next one where there's a wagon with some horses waiting. Here, you see that this has got like a bunch of different scarecrows lined up against a wall.
All right. Well, I'm dressing a scarecrow up as Henny and sort of positioning it on the wagon so it looks kind of like Henny might be driving it.
All right, you take the time, you put these things together, you stick it in front of there, and then you have it set to go.
Okay, where? So I'm taking it there wasn't a turtle.
There was
Scarecrow.
not, and Reggie takes off his hat and like sort of like ties it into the thing to make it look like he's sort of in the wagon.
Oh, okay, that works. Vesta? Oh, 4 arms. Shit. And you kind of wearing a dress.
You take at this point, you're all taking the time to fashion stuff, and there's enough people in the front that you kind of just put your clothes in the back, bits and pieces. You give the horses a good slap, and they start getting off. You see then that this wagon starts going down the street, and almost zombie-like, the entire town just starts slowly walking towards it. They're facing away, and you have time to run towards the next open warehouse, where you think you see clothes hanging out of a bin.
Okay, let's go.
Gotta grab him.
Yep.
Right. You're running quiet, low, just kind of like go, moving between people who don't seem to notice you're there while they're distracted. Briefly, you notice the wagon sort of catch something, and then the horses break free in either direction. It tumbles off of a railing, and you can see the rest of them just kind of fall off, but you recognize the building. Henny, you recognize it well, and you see that your scarecrow, having taken some air at the front of the wagon, arcs far and then crashes through the commissioner's window.
I give that guy a big middle finger. I'm glad his office window was smashed. Hate that dude.
Yeah, fuck him. He almost got you fired for trying to investigate his own corruption.
Exactly. Okay. Enough fond memories. We need to get the hell out of here.
So you rush into the next warehouse. Desperately, a lot of you start picking out things. There's an oversized robe. This might work. It's the right size tunic. You shove it over yourself. You guys dress up as other people, and then you just start walking with everyone else. It's a tense 10, 15 minutes. And then eventually you trudge closer. You pretend to be looking for this wagon like everyone else. And when you see a moment, you break down the main street and start running out the main gates. You just start sprinting for the woods at the edge of the base of the mountain as the guards are following you. But because you're a small group, they manage to lose you in the brush. You just kind of look off in the distance as outside the gates of Hammerhold, there's just people staring. But those are just some ways it might have gone down. After all, people just know that there was some kind of orange smoke in the warehouse, or out of the spire. They know that chickens flooded through the market square, that there was a wagon in a rooftop somehow, and that there was a scarecrow wearing Henny's clothes in the commissioner's office. A lot of ways that could have gone down. All we know is they didn't find any bodies. They didn't find anyone dead. And rumor has it that most of the people involved in that whole shebang are still alive, hunting down somebody somewhere. But I think we've been following this sort of life drinker hunt for long enough. It's not the sort of thing that ends. It's not the sort of thing that you just kind of go, okay, we're done, you dust your hands off. Boru's gone. Chet's got powers. The hunt continues. And we're going to continue next week with a new Session 0 for the new campaign, I reckon.
Yes.
Yay!
Good job, Will. Good
Good
job.
job, Will.
Thank you for putting all of the flavor into this campaign. Because otherwise, I'm just sitting in front of a camera going, all right, so I got an idea for this campaign.
So here's my
Yeah.
novel.
Yes.
You don't have anybody to go on a 20-minute corner gas rants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that
I do.
when reading Will's book, it took a really weird turn when there's just an entire chapter dedicated to corner gas. I don't understand.
I do appreciate that Hank Yarbo's contribution was that everybody in the town was brainwashed and then forgot about it. That seems very in character.
So there's deliberate ambiguity because I want there to be kind of a, maybe I bring people back, maybe I don't. A little bit of mobility for this for future GMing purposes. We're going to do session 0 next week, later half of 7, twitch.tv/Mr. Croden, as we figure out what we're going to do for a, I don't want to say unconnected because it's in the same world, so you can never really cut those strings, but a roughly unconnected story. You can find the episodes at youtube.com/Mr. Croden, and if you want to learn how to play this game, you can check us out at bloodwine.fandom.com.
And if you want more stream goodness before we do our next session 0, Will and I will be doing Fallout New Vegas on Saturday.
Yeah. We have to go and
any
slap
more
a bunch
technical difficulties.
Yeah, we got to go and slap a bunch of stuff on Elder McNamara's desk and go, hey, the Brotherhood is bad and you should feel bad.
Yeah, basically. Let my Brotherhood leave this vault because Jesus Christ, it's bad. And on Monday, since it's a civic holiday, I'm going to be doing a long stream for Dragon Age.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. I don't know how long I'm going to stream. That's entirely dependent on me that day.
Until you hit the
How do you
wall.
feel?
You know, the Kirk
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah, until I hit the Kirk wall.
That's what they should call it. You hit the Kirk wall when you had your maximum daily dosage of Dragon Age 2.
Yeah, basically. All right. So if you want to see more of that, tune in. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.